Hi everybody, it's Lyn from Lyn's Crafts. Today, I'm coming back to share what I've been up to. First of all, these are the ones that are the painted eyeball. The painted eye. This one has foil behind it, but same difference. I'll get to the effect in another video. A while back ago, I ordered these. I do that sometimes. I'll just order something that I expect to be crap, but I get it and I'm pleasantly surprised. So I ordered these, I think, from AliExpress. Panda Hall carries them. Amazon carries them if you don't want to wait, which is what I suggest. But these are really, they have two different sizes, I believe. The one, I'm not sure about the size. There's 200 of them, so they're going to be little bitty. These, there's 50 of them. And I would say they're all different. They're very different. There are about half that are mated sets, and then about half that are just individual. So I took a couple of them out. I thought I would just play around as I often do. Let's see, where did I start? I started right here. This is just to show you the shine or the reflective nature that these have. Man, these are awesome. So I did that one. I did this one. Really love just love the reflectiveness of that eye. This one. Then I jumped out on a limb and I did this one. I just took a pocket watch. I've got a bag of watches. This one, the crystal was broken across the top up here. So, just a quick way to hide that. Then I pulled out these stainless steel soaps. Again, that I just bought on a whim, expecting them to be crap, and I was pleasantly surprised. Same thing, I guess, as the, whatever the Sculpey tray thing is called. But they definitely add some dimension. Really like this one. Then this was on the oval. So that's what I'm gonna show today. I'm not gonna show how to do all of them, but I intentionally left most of them without any kind of spikes or anything, because that would be the next layer. So I've intentionally made these just as the embellishment part you would glue down and do the rest of your work around. Alright. Or you could use them just like they are. Alright. So I'll be back all set up and I'll show you how to do it. Okay, one of the things that I should have said, these are 25mm in diameter. The ones I normally use, these are like 30 to 40mm is how I think they come. Alright, so I've pulled a couple out. I was gonna be done after this, and then I had an idea right smack bang in the middle of it that I'm gonna do one more. So this is the one I've chosen. Again, I'm gonna do it in black. I'm doing that because I can make them any color. I can make it something that will match the eye. I can make it something that will contrast the eye. But I'm doing it in black. So, I've got some black Primo that I have literally shredded. Packaging. I normally store it in the packaging in a Ziploc bag. Don't know why. I guess it's just to keep the packaging with the clay. I mean, each individual package has its own number, but I really don't think that's why. Alright, I'm going to roll this through my pasta machine, and I'm going to roll it on a 4, and I'm going to explain why I do that. Why I do it on a 4 and not thicker is because just like with this particular eye, this particular area winds up being 3 layers thick. So that's a 12 millimeter altogether. So it's 8 on this side. I could have made it more, but I do that just because I build up the layers so much. Alright, I do that normally on any pendant I do. This one is 2 layers. The base is, and then the eye is attached on top of that. So that would be another layer. That would be 3 layers of clay. Okay? Alright, so I'm going to roll this out and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm not going to use the shapers this time just because not as many people have them. So just going to do the flat one for now. And I'm going to do a round one. So I've got my biggest round cutter. I don't know how big this is. Two inches. Okay. So I should have put a towel out. Okay, now what to do a little texture on this. Let me see. What have I not used? I've got the one with the looks like bubbles. This one is just texture. I've got this one that looks kind of like a Van Gogh background. And then this one that is crackles. This one is a break for stamps, I think. And they may actually still have it. I'm not sure. I'll try to find a link and put it below. Normally, I would just use my stamping block to give it pressure, but I really want this to have some pronounced texture. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay. Then I'm going to stick the eye. And I'm not going to use Bacon Bond or anything. But I am kind of putting it on a slant slightly. Alright. Now, do a second circle. Now see? I like to leave in my mistakes because everybody makes them. Alright. Now I'm gonna offset these two circles, and I'll explain why in just a minute. Now I'm gonna remove it. Alright. Now, I've done that so that I'll have a top and a bottom eyelid. The part in the middle will be discarded, but it'll just be mixed in with the rest of the scrap. Just the rest of the black clay. I rarely have scrap because I normally mix only what I want to use. Sometimes I'll have just the littlest bit of scrap that I'll use in the middle of something else, or I'll mix it with the next bit of scrap, and it'll wind up being something I paint. Alright, now do this again. Takes a bit concentration. But I did stamp it a little hard. Okay. This is going to be the bottom. It's just a tad bit narrower. I'm not exactly sure why that matters, but okay, and I'm going to place this where it'll wind up being even more on an angle. The pupil will. Okay. Now, before I stick this down, okay, and I'm going to take the circle again because I've widened it out to where it's more of an egg shape, which is fine. You could leave it that way. But I want the overall finish to be a circle. Come on, just peel off there. Okay, I've rolled back out the rest of the clay on a fork, cut out a circle. Now I need to cut just a slightly thinner arc, whatever you want to call it. Trying not to push so hard to cut it this time. Alright, this time I'm gonna start back away from the edge just a little bit. Alright. Then I'll take the circle again. And just give it a little turn right before I lift it up, just to make sure it's cut all the way. Alright. Now then, I'm going to take, this is one of the tools from, it actually came from the Alumilite Corporation, and I'll put a link down below. I got inspired to try this. I've had these for a long time and just never pulled them out to even try to work with them. This piece is really sharply chiseled on the top, but on the bottom it's relatively round and smooth. That being said, you could use a color shaper or your needle tool. You could use whatever you want, really. Sorry, I'm not trying to be so quiet, but I'm a bit contemplative, huh? Okay, I'm viewing this eye as if, weirdly enough, as if the pupil is over here, which is really contrary to everything this piece is making me feel. but this is what I'm going to go for. Alright, so I'm gonna turn it around first of all. I'm gonna follow the edge of the eye that is underneath the clay in a roundabout kind of fashion. I don't really want to indent deeply into the clay at first. Just want to check my line a little bit. Alright, then I can start just giving it a little wrinkle. Alright, because of the texture, you're not going to see that much right now. But if we add color on top, it will really make it pop. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing on the top. Okay, something like that. Now that made it look a little bit more like the pupil is over here. So that is what I was trying to accomplish. Alright, at this point you could take a little bitty rope and add just a little for the eyelash layer. Not for eyelashes, but just for that layer. But I think I'm going to call it good for now with that. And I'm just going to add some little dots. That's the way they're going to start out. And then I'm going to flatten them. I'm going to add a few of those. You can add texture on top of them. You could make them spiky like I did on the other one. Just a little bit of texture. Alright. Nothing much to see. I'm apologizing ahead of time. Working with black clay on camera is notoriously hard. Okay, real quick while that's baking. I just want to show you how versatile this particular design really is. So I'm just going to texture the back or the base. Alright. take my eye. This one doesn't really matter because it's round. Then I've already cut out the top and bottom eyelid, but before I put the texture on, I'm gonna just add, this is some Cosmic Shimmer Gilding Flakes, and hopefully I'll be able to share a link for you. This one in particular is called Calypso, which I know is notoriously hard to find, so sorry about that. So I'm just gonna roughly put some of these on, and I'm not trying to place them color specific. I'm not trying to stay with just gold or just copper. This stuff is close to impossible to work with. So I'm just gonna try to carry on and finish coating these, and then I'll be back. Alright, now, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be this particular gold leaf. I just chose this because it will go with the eye. Alright. Then I'm gonna stamp into it. And stamp into it. Now it is pretty thin. Be careful. And like I talk about quite often, you're really gonna have to practice a light touch, because it will show fingerprints rather. Okay, now I went around with my craft knife and just cleaned up around the eye just a little bit. So now I'm gonna decide on a circle. peel off the excess. Now, again, there are many things you could do to this. You could put spikes on it, you could put an eyelid on it, you could put, another eyelid. Alright, but I am going to leave it just like that. Bake it just like that anyway. Alright, so really, really versatile design. And really, really simple. So, you can just go on and make lots of these. So, alright, into the oven it'll go. Okay, now I've got some yellow Adirondack ink. I don't have any idea what color this is, but it's yellow. I'm gonna just add a tiny bit around these two areas, just to bring it all together a bit. It literally only takes a drop. And it doesn't make much of a change, but you can see a little bit of the yellow that just brings it together with the eye a little bit. Alright. Okay, now I've got just a little bit, got a gigantic bottle of Deco Art Americana black paint, and it is the lamp black. And I really and truly just want a drop. Whoa, that was almost too much. Alright, now I can water that down. Let me see how. Okay, that is definitely watered down enough. Just enough to flow into the design that we made with the stamp. Okay. I've just got a baby wipe that's dried out slightly. But that won't matter. there's how it turned out. I like it. Here is how the other one turned out. Sorry. Here is how the other one turned out. Very similar to this one, but this one was baked on the shape stone. So it doesn't really take much at all to have a lot of detail. The detail from the stamping, the detail from the second eyelid we put on, and the detail from just the dots. So, really nice finished product. Again, there are so many different ways to use these little eyes. And I never talk about a product like this, but I was just really impressed with these. They're really nice. They're super easy to use. So, there you go. A finished product. A really pretty dragon's eye. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And click the little bell symbol so it will send you notifications. Bye for now.